The smartest person I ever worked with is still stuck.
Brilliant mind. Top of every class. The kind of person who finishes your sentence before you do. 15 years later, same chair, same complaint, same ceiling. So I started paying attention. Why do some people keep climbing while others, the clever ones, stall out? It's not talent. I've watched enough talent go nowhere to be sure of that. It comes down to 5 things, 5 habits. And every one of them, by accident or maybe not, starts with the letter C. Curiosity, communication, creativity, collaboration, competence. That's the whole episode. Stay with me, because the order matters more than you think. If we haven't met, I'm Rashid. I spend my days helping people communicate better, in boardrooms, in classrooms, across the Gulf and beyond. 15 years of it. And the 5 C's aren't a theory I read somewhere. They're a pattern I kept tripping over, in the people who rose and in myself on the days I got out of my own way. So here's my promise for the next 18 minutes. No clever frameworks you'll forget by lunch. 5 simple ideas, one at a time. And by the end, one of them is going to feel like it was written for you specifically. You'll know which one. It'll be the one that stings a little. Let's start at the beginning, literally, because curiosity is where everything else begins. Curiosity is the question you ask when you don't have to. Nobody's grading you, nobody's watching. You ask anyway, because you want to know. Here's what I've noticed. The people who stop growing are almost never the people who stopped working. They're the people who stopped wondering. They decided they already knew about their field, about their team, about themselves. And the moment you decide you already know, you go quiet inside. You stop updating. The world doesn't stop, though. It keeps moving. New tools, new rules, new competition you didn't see coming. So the person who thinks they've figured it all out isn't standing still. They're falling behind, just slowly enough that they don't feel the floor moving. I'll be honest with you. The years I grew the most were the years I felt the most stupid. Asking the basic question in the meeting. The one everyone's secretly hoping someone else asks. Being the person who says, wait, can you explain that again? That's not weakness. That's the engine. Because here's the thing nobody tells you about curiosity. It's not loud. It doesn't announce itself. It's just a small, stubborn refusal to pretend. So this week, try one thing. When you catch yourself thinking, I already know how this works, stop and ask one more question. You might be right, but you might find a door you didn't know was there. Stay curious, and the next 4 C's come easier. Lose it, and they all start to rust. Your idea is only as good as your ability to land it. Say that again to yourself. Only as good as your ability to land it. Because here is a hard truth. The best idea, locked inside a quiet head, changes nothing. Zero. It might as well not exist. I've sat in rooms with people who were right, completely right, and got ignored. And I've watched people with half the substance get the budget, get the promotion, get the room. The difference wasn't intelligence. It was the ability to be understood. Now, let me clear something up. Communication is not talking more. It's not being the loudest. It's not a bigger vocabulary. Some of the worst communicators I know never stop talking. Communication is being understood. That's the whole job. Did the idea travel from your head into theirs? Clean, clear, intact. And clarity beats cleverness every single time. I used to think the impressive thing was the complicated sentence, the fancy word, the phrase that made me sound smart. It made me sound smart. It also made me forgettable. Now, I'd rather be clear than clever. Short sentences, plain words, one idea at a time. Because the person listening to you is busy, tired, half distracted. If they have to work to understand you, they won't. They'll just nod and move on, and your idea dies in the gap between you. So here's your challenge. Take the most important thing you need to say this week. The pitch, the ask, the difficult conversation. Now cut it in half. Then say it out loud to a real person, not a mirror. If they get it the first time, you're ready. If they don't, that's not their failure. It's your draft. Curiosity fills your head. Communication empties it into the world, where it can finally do some good. Let me kill a myth right now. Creativity is not painting. It's not poetry. It's not something you were either born with or you weren't. Creativity is problem solving with the lights off. It's what you do when the obvious answer doesn't work. And there's no instruction manual for what comes next. That's it. That's the skill. Seeing a second option when everyone else sees a dead end. And here's the part people get wrong. They think creativity needs freedom, endless time, unlimited budget, a blank page and a quiet room. The opposite is true. Creativity loves constraints. Give a team all the money in the world and a year to do it, and watch them produce something safe and boring. Give them half the budget and 2 weeks, and suddenly the ideas get interesting. Constraints aren't the enemy of creativity. They're the fuel. The wall in front of you, the one you keep cursing, that wall is the reason you'll think of something you never would have found on the open road.